Thank you, Ashford, and good morning. I'm Nicole Allen, Director of Open Government for the Board of Ethics and Government Accountability. I was appointed by the board on July 9th, 2018, to lead the Office of Open Government. In addition to myself, our office includes Chief Counsel Johnny Barton, Attorney Advisor Cherie DeBerry, IT Specialist Kevon Bridges, and an Education Attorney Advisor and Open Meetings Act trial attorney that we'll be hiring in the near future. The Office of Open Government, or the OOG's mission, is to ensure that government operations at every level are transparent, open to the public, and promote civic engagement. The OOG ensures compliance with the District of Columbia Open Meetings Act, which requires that all public bodies gather to consider, conduct, or advise on public business, take all official action during public meetings, and provide proper notice and detailed records of their meetings. The public bodies subject to the DC Open Meetings Act include any government council, the Council of the District of Columbia, boards, commissions, and boards of directors of instrumentalities, public charter school boards of trustees, and advisory boards. The OOG also provides formal and informal advice to public bodies seeking guidance on compliance with the provisions of the Open Meetings Act and conducts training and outreach on the procedural requirements of the Act. We also provide an OMA course throughout the year, and we provided one this week. Any member of the public can notify us of a violation of the Open Meetings Act. The OOG has authority to bring suit in the Superior Court of the District of Columbia, except the council, if they fail to comply with the Open Meetings Act. Enforcement ranges from injunctive relief to fines of up to $250 per violation. In addition to enforcement of the Open Meetings Act, the OOG advocates for a fair and efficient Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, process. To that end, the OOG provides the District of Columbia government's FOIA officers with advice and guidance upon request, and provides formal and informal advice to agencies seeking guidance on FOIA compliance. The OOG also assists members of the public in filing FOIA requests with the proper DC government agency. Members of the public may also request that we advise DC government agencies on FOIA issues. To better ensure compliance and the consistent application of all applicable exemptions under FOIA, the OOG facilitates annual training courses for DC government FOIA officers. This week, we provided 2 webinars on FOIA. The OOG also provides FOIA training to DC government agencies and to the public upon request. I want to thank you all again for joining today, and I look forward to answering any questions you may have. I will now turn it over to OOG's Chief Counsel, Johnny Barton, to introduce himself and discuss his role with OOG.
Good morning, and thank you, Director Allen. My name is Johnny Barton. I serve as Chief Counsel to the Office of Open Government. I've been with the OOG since February of 2016. In my capacity as Chief Counsel, I advise public bodies on advise the public on the proper submission of a FOIA request. I also assist public bodies on compliance with FOIA, including the applicability of FOIA's exemptions. I respond to inquiries from both the public and public bodies on compliance with the Open Meetings Act, assist with monitoring public body compliance with the OMA. We investigate allegations of noncompliance with FOIA and the OMA, provide trainings on the OMA and FOIA, try to stay abreast with changes in FOIA on both levels, reviewing case law as it becomes available, and serve as the FOIA officer for the OOG. And that is pretty much it. I'll turn matters over to Attorney Advisor Cherie DeBerry.
to be working with Chief Counsel Barton.
Sure, you were on mute when you first started.
Okay.
So you have to start over.
Okay, sorry about that. Again, I'm Cherie DeBerry. I am an attorney advisor with the Office of Open Government. And as I said, I'm relatively new to the office. I joined in June of 2020. I'm thrilled to be working with Chief Counsel Barton and Director Allen, and also Kevon Bridges. My role is similar to some of the things that Chief Counsel Barton stated earlier, but my main role is to enforce the Office of Open Government's mission of transparency of government operations by ensuring compliance with the Open Meetings Act and the Freedom of Information Act. I advise and train public bodies, 40 officers, and I also provide public outreach concerning the Open Meetings Act and the Freedom of Information Act. And basically, like I said, some of the similar roles that Chief Barton described, as well as what I just stated. So I look forward to any questions that anyone has. Over to you, Kayvon.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kevon Bridges. It's nice to see you all today. Good to meet some of you. Good to see some of you again. So I am the IT specialist for the Office of Open Government. I was hired around August, so I'm recently fairly new as well. My role mostly involves handling any issues or problems that we may receive or have from public bodies using our website. I also ensure that on a day-to-day basis, we have everything running on the site so that any information the public bodies may have in terms of meetings or just things that need to be seen by the public are posted on our page properly and easy to find. I also handle any technical aspects, whether it be fixing a typo on a page or adding a new user to one of our sites, which is the opendc.gov site or the bega.dc.gov website. So generally, any technical problems that anyone may occur or run into while trying to post or do anything within the sites, they will be handed over to me, and I work with any of them to ensure that their problem or situation is resolved. Aside from that, I'm happy to be here today and looking forward to answering any questions any of you may all have. Thank you, and I'm turning the presentation back to our moderator, Ashley Cook.
Okay, I'll jump in because this is Director Rochelle Ford. Ashley, I'm sorry, do you want to do anything before I start speaking?
I was about to ask, were there any questions for the Office of Open Government? Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions, or you can always type them within the chat. Okay, seeing none, go ahead, Rochelle.
All right, good afternoon, morning, whatever we're calling 11 o'clock in pandemic time. It's nice to virtually see you all, and I want to thank you for joining. As I started saying, my name is Rochelle Ford, and I am the Director of Government Ethics here at OGE. I joined BEGA in October of 2018 as the board's attorney. I was served as their attorney, advising them on legal matters and serving as a liaison with the office. I then took on the role as acting general counsel and served in that role until the end of 2019 when I became the acting director of government ethics. I was appointed as director, effective October 1st. So I am a new director. I'm newish to BEGA, but I'm in no way new to government ethics. It is something that I am very excited about, and if you have been forced to sit to listen to me previously, you know that I really like talking about ethics, and I think it's really important, obviously, what we do. It's important to me as a personal value, and as a professional value. I feel fortunate to have been able to sort of find ikigai, whatever you call it, ikigai, that sort of place where your passion and work all come together with a great staff. And so let me tell you what we do here at BEGA. I think you probably already know that we administer, advise, and train on the Code of Conduct, which are the rules that assure the public that we do our jobs impartially, with integrity, that we steward resources, that we follow the ethical principles of public service. And all of us know in our office and hope to, communicate the message throughout the district that we are committed to ensuring the public that our public office is a public trust. So we, in addition to doing training, I'm going to introduce you, the staff will talk about themselves, but we have 3 attorneys and 3 investigators who are responsible for all enforcement matters. There are 35,000 district employees, so you might imagine that we're quite busy on that front. We also provide direct ethics advice, so if someone calls in and has a question or email, we answer questions. We don't answer hypotheticals because you need facts in order to provide advice, but we can point people to the rules. And then we do a lot of trainings, including Ethics Week, which is, a monumental achievement for supervisory attorney Ashley Cooks, who leads our education and advice functions. And so I just want to thank you, Ashley, and commend you while I have this time for what a great job you've done this week. And if you know if people have missed programming or they want to see programming that occurred earlier, let us know. Ashley has recorded the sessions, and we can make them available to you. Let's see. I guess I will tell you, I talked about our investigations team. Our advice functions are carried out by lawyers. Everyone here at BEGA wears multiple hats. Our program assistant and office administrator assist with all of our other programs, including our compliance programs. Our auditor and compliance specialist help to run, along with their attorney partners, the lobbying registration compliance function of our office and the financial disclosure function of our office. And so we are busy on all fronts and happy to serve you and answer all of your questions. And so next, I will turn things over to, let's see who is next, our General Counsel, Rashi Raj.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Raj, and I'm the General Counsel, as Rochelle said, which, basically is legal officer for the agency. And since we currently don't have a board's attorney, then, at some point for the board, I directly report to Rochelle and do a variety of things that most general counsels do. So kind of keeping the wheels on the machine moving. That's providing legal advice to the agency, developing new or amended legislation, regulations, rulemakings on behalf of the agency, FOIA, in regards to, if that comes specifically for the Office of Government Ethics, because obviously we have a more than qualified team at OOG who could handle the rest of FOIA. Sexual harassment officer for the agency, EEO coordinator, ADA coordinator, basically making sure that all of our employees are treated fairly. Some personnel and HR related functions, whatever legal work is needed, I'm there to do it. And Rochelle had talked about, our obviously ethics trainings and advice work, so helping her manage some of that as well, intake of cases, assignment of cases, that sort of thing, kind of cradle to grave as far as, if an appeal comes in on a decision, then working on that on behalf of the agency as well. Anything else? Basically, whatever Rochelle needs, I'll do that. So I'll pass it on to Ashley, who you've heard a little bit from already.
Good morning again, everyone. Yes, I'm Ashley Cooks. You have seen me a lot this week for Ethics Week, but I am Supervisory Attorney Advisor at the Office of Government Ethics. I've been with the agency for 5 years now. As Rochelle stated, I am over the training and advice within the agency. that requires me to maintain our training materials, to issue new training materials, to create those materials. I also handle the scheduling for our webinar trainings and what used to be our in-person trainings as well. Hopefully we'll get back to in-person training soon. I also coordinate with agencies when an agency has a request for one of our staff members to conduct an ethics training. I will coordinate with the agency to come up with the date as well as the materials, the particular ethics training that they're looking for. What else? LMS. So we are in the process of acquiring a learning management system, which I will be administering. The learning management system will allow employees to go to our website, go to the system, and to take our ethics trainings. Your training record will be tracked within our system. So that's one thing that I'm working on. Advice. So again, I'm over the advice division of the Office of Government Ethics, which means that I ensure that all advice inquiries are addressed. I make sure that we don't miss any type of inquiries that come into the office, and I also provide ethics advice. In addition to my role as a supervisory attorney over ethics and advice, over training and advice, I also have my other attorney advisor duties, which include providing ethics advice, providing trainings, investigations. I'm partnered with a wonderful investigator that you guys are going to hear from later. I'm partnered with him, and we conduct ethics investigations. So that's pretty much it for what I do. I probably do a few other things within the agency that I'm not mentioning right now, but we're all hands-on deck agency. We're very small, so we all have multiple hats and we all do multiple things, but that's about it for me. That's the gist. So if you have an ethics question, feel free to reach out to me, ashley.cooks@dc.gov, or you can always reach out to our main email, bega@dc.gov, or you can always give us a call. Thank you. Asia is next.
Good morning, everybody. Happy to be here. Happy to talk to you guys a little bit about what I do at the agency. So my name is Asia Stewart Mitchell. Quick background about me. I've worked for in different local government jurisdictions just about all of my working life. I graduated from UDC Law in 2015. I clerked for a circuit court judge at Prince George's County Circuit Court before I came to the agency. I started at the agency in December of 2016, I believe. So I've been with the agency for about 4 years. When I first started at the agency, I did a little bit of everything, just assisting folks with different programs and cases that they needed assistance with. Now at the agency, with regard to my administrative programs that I do, I am assigned to the financial disclosure program. So I generally manage all legal matters for the financial disclosure program. I'm in charge of drafting all of the any documents associated with the program, and I'm actually in the process right now of writing policies and procedures for the program and doing a complete overhaul of all of the documents for the program. And I've actually drafted a few new forms. I know some people, when they want to do certain waivers and appeals when it comes to financial disclosure, they want to know, where's the form for this? And we don't really have them. So I'm in the process of drafting different documents for the for the program. I write any notices that you might receive regarding financial disclosure. I drafted it. It might come from somebody else, but I would have written that notice. So I generally oversee the financial disclosure program. I also am responsible for a caseload at the agency, just like Ashley and our other attorney Sonya King. I'm also paired with an investigator, and her name is Ileana Corrales. So if you've encountered me with regard to an investigation, I've most likely been with Ileana. We do our cases together. We work in tandem. Of course, I handle the legal side, but we both would attend all the interviews and any field work that we would have to do regarding a case. I also assist with the trainings. So at the agency, all of the attorneys go out and do trainings. We're in a virtual world now, so we've been doing a lot of Zoom trainings. So I can administer if an agency has a specific area they want to focus on, we can administer specialized trainings. We can come and do the full ethics trainings. Most agencies schedule those with us annually. I know a lot of agencies come back and they like to have the same attorneys. I have something that I do every year for the trainings. But, we have all of the attorneys here. We have a mixed bag of work that we do. We all jump in to try to assist each other with anything that folks need help with. I also do advice as well. So you can also feel free to contact me directly if you need ethics advice. I will put my email address and phone number in the chat. You can also reach any of us through the main line if you need assistance. Thank you. That's it. And who's next? I don't think I have.
It's me.
Oh,
Take a baton.
Take it away.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sonya King, and I am the third attorney advisor here in the Office of Government Ethics. I joined the agency in 2018. I was a prosecutor for about 10 years before that in Maryland and in the district. And so I say that to say that my favorite part of the job and one of the hats that I wear is as an investigator here. So I'm not a criminal prosecutor anymore. I consider myself an ethics prosecutor now. And so one of the roles is investigating cases, just as the other two told you they do. My partner in crime is, or not my partner in crime, but my partner is on, and you'll hear from him today too. We work together kind of like Law and Order out here as we conduct investigations from the initial complaint all the way to any hearings before either our director or board. I also give advice and do trainings, as you heard from Ashley and Asia. But my other, I guess, unique to me is the lobbying program. So for anyone that either communicates at all with anyone from on the council or anyone that works for the council or the mayor's office or any agency head or executive official in the executive branch, if you lobby or you communicate with them for the purpose of influencing some sort of administrative decision or legislation, then you need to register with BEGA. Our agency is the repository for that information. So if you ever want to see, who's currying favor with who and who's doing it, that's on our website. It's published. If you do that sort of work, you have to register with our agency and then file quarterly reports telling us who you met with and the sort of communications you've had with them and how much money you're spending. And that's all on our website. We're not just a repository for it, because, again, I told you I was a prosecutor. We do enforcement. So if you don't comply with those, we are the agency that will find you or reach out to you to say, hey, here's where your documentation. We're missing some things, and we collect and gather that information. So, and again, like I said, I do advice and training such as this one today. And I think I'm handing it off to, so I guess my transition is to our next. I work with Stan Kosick in the lobbying, Stanley Kosick in the lobbying section of our office, and he's up next. Stan, there you
go. Thank you, Sonya, for that wonderful introduction. But I do go by Stan, so you were correct. Legal name Stanley. Stan, I prefer. Unless you're mad at me, then you can use Stanley. I'm the program specialist here at BEGA. Basically, I'm the systems administrator for the financial disclosure e-file system and, as Sonya mentioned, the lobbyist registration and reporting system. I've learned a great deal over the past year. I started with the district on September 30th of 2019, and I've learned a great deal working with everyone. As Rochelle mentioned, government ethics is one of my favorite things, and sometimes I'm a little too ethical for my own good, if that's a thing. But but I do. This was this job fell into my lap, and I embrace it. I have had opportunity to speak with several of my colleagues throughout the district when they're filing their financial disclosure, and honestly, I don't think there's a bad one in the bunch. And the same goes with lobbyists and the people who are reporting. Having the conversations that I've had has been very different from, say, when I was a planner, urban planner meeting with developers, and those people would just be downright nasty, whereas lobbyists and everybody have been really sort of friendly. But I do get it, and we're kind of, they're looking to do they're looking to do right, and I'm trying to help people to do right. So that's me. That's what I'm doing. And like I said, I support Sonya. I support Asia and Emmanuel. Teshuba, our auditor, if he needs a report done, I'm getting it. I'm getting him the information he needs so that he can provide accurate auditing, and and vice versa. He's the one that comes to me and says, "Hey, we're missing this. We need to get this. So let's get it and get everybody in compliance." That's me in a nutshell. And actually, I don't know who I'm going to next, Ashley. So if you want to, we're going to the investigators, Ron Cook.
All right, thanks for that, Stan, and thank you, Ashley, for that compliment earlier. Everybody, just as a reminder from yesterday, I do not have on sunshades. These are my regular prescription glasses. They're just tinted, so it may look like I have on shades. You might wonder why is this guy on here doing this presentation with shades on, but they aren't shades. They are regular glasses. But I'm an investigator for the Board of Ethics and Government Accountability Office. I've been with BEGA since 2013, going on 8 years since the office opened. As an investigator, I'm charged with receiving and investigating complaints that come into our office from various places. Tasked with conducting investigations, field interviews, in-person interviews, inspections, making recommendations to the attorneys after we analyze certain complaints, collecting records, documents, other materials from different agencies inside of DC government and outside, tasked with contacting certain individuals from federal, state, and municipal and local agencies to obtain facts and statements and certain other things that we may need while we conduct investigations, anything that will help. I also provide ethics training sometimes. When I first started, when it wasn't as many people as we have now, I did a lot of training. I used to do NEO all of the time. I actually conducted some ethics trainings alone or in collaboration with a couple of attorneys that we had before. So basically, I'm tasked with doing a lot of things. I really don't know everything that I'm supposed to do because there's always something different every day. But I always get the difficult task in the office, the hard to deal with individuals who come in, the crazy phone calls. That's usually all of the stuff that I get tasked with. But I love my job. I love the people that I work with. I think we have a great team, and I work in collaboration with Ashley. I also work with Sonya. I work with Ralph. I work with Stan. I work with Manuel. Work with Sandra. Work with Tyrell. Work with Rochelle. Work with Rashi. So I work with everyone. And basically, in a nutshell, I try to help do anything that I can to make our office run smooth. So that's basically it for me. Thanks.
All righty. Up next, I want to thank you for that one, Ron. I'm Ralph Bradley. I'm another one of the investigators here in the office. And Ron covered the basic duties and responsibilities of us investigators. I'm just going to briefly go through our complaint process from beginning to disposition, just so you have a brief understanding of what our process is. But about me, I've been with BEGA as an investigator for just about 2 years now. I'm the newest investigator on the team. I come from a background of federal law enforcement, so out of the criminal realm into the ethics realm, it's been a very pleasant change, and it's been a good new use of skill set, and I enjoyed my time here with BEGA, and I'm looking forward to many more years of working with this group of people. It's a great team you've got here in the office. When individuals come into the office, we accept complaints either through in-person, via mail, or through our web portal. Once the complaints come in, if with the exception of in-person or on the phone, we'll talk to the individual there and go ahead and get the complainant interview done immediately since they're present. And then on our ones that come in via the paper route or online, we gather those complaints and we meet with the general counsel, our attorney advisors, and sort of a review team to discuss the legal review of the complaint, just to find out if it's something that has merits for investigation, if it's something that falls within our investigative jurisdiction, or if it needs to be referred to someone else who has authority for that particular complaint. So after that legal review, we touch the investigative team, which you've heard us mention. I'm paired up with Sonya King, but our three teams will be assigned a case on a rotating wheel. Whoever is up next gets the next case, unless that complaint is associated with a previous investigation that we worked. We may get that assigned to a team out of the rotation, but we get whichever one's coming up next, and that keeps it pretty open for us. We don't have any specific groups, offices, agencies that we investigate. We just get whoever comes up next and keeps everybody on. The team meets and we go through and determine if it's a formal case, if it's a preliminary case, if it's a regulatory matter that refer over to Emmanuel or to Stan, or that for their processes, or if it's something that we refer. So we go ahead and address the type of case that we're dealing with. And once we get that, we determine the violation. We discuss the elements of the violation. We discuss any evidence that was provided and the scope. Are we talking about one individual? Does it involve multiple individuals? Does it involve an agency issue? We just kind of get the scope of what the investigation is before we move forward. Then, as Ron briefly discussed, we do the investigation, conduct interviews, request records, conduct public or government searches, seek agency coordination, whatever is necessary for us to move forward with the investigation. And then once we get the case investigated, if it's not an issue, we'll dismiss it and make notification to the individuals involved. If it does lead towards a violation, then we have a type of disposition that's going to be used. And we have negotiated dispositions. And we have a notice of violation. We have show cause hearings. We have informal admonitions. And we have a public censure. And each of those are potential dispositions for any allegations that we investigate. And once those are determined, those are formally issued to the violator and maintained within our office for recording purposes, and in case there's any need to follow up with further investigation or any appeals of nature. So that's kind of what we do from soup to nuts. And again, thank you very much for participating in this week and participating in this panel. And hopefully you guys will have some good questions for us when we conclude. And I'll pass it on to Emmanuel Tajuba, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph. Good morning, everybody. My name is Emmanuel Tajuba. I'm the auditor at BEGA. I joined BEGA in June 2019. It has been a pleasant time so far. And we have really, as we said, a wonderful team, working together in the investigation and ethics and all that areas. As an auditor, I complete audits on compliance and conformance audits. My compliance audit concentrates on, making sure our lobbyists and, financial disclosure statements are in compliance with the DC law. When it comes to conformance, I complete audit in conformance with the existing policy and procedure. One example that I can cite is compliant intake and processing audit. my task as an auditor, I complete different audits. On the compliance and the conformance audit, those audits, I have to complete those audits. I have prepared audit planning calendar. The calendar indicates what kind of audits happen at different time in the year. And to supplement that, I have prepared an audit program, which has a detailed steps of what areas need to be tested. And based on that, I complete audits. And the output that I provide is completed audit working papers that are subject to, reviewed by, our director, Rochelle Ford. And I also provide any non-compliance and non-conformance in relation to the areas that I tested. And those are the findings that I present for discussion with the director and the responsible staff. After that, we agree on audit action plans. So those audit action plans are the corrective action plans, and I follow that, make sure those things are properly followed and completed. The other operational task that I have is I follow on fines collection. That's sanctioned through the investigators. They investigate and finally decide on whether it is going to be fined. Once the fine amount is decided, I follow on the collection part. And I also review bank statements to making sure that BEGA funds have been deposited to the bank properly. Again, thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. Thank you.
Next would have been Tyrell Dow. He wasn't able to make it onto the call today, but he is our program support specialist. He manages a lot of administrative matters within the office, and he also provides customer service for lobbyist matters as well as FDS matters. So next is Sandra.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sandra Peterson. Thank you for joining us today for BEGA's meet and greet and question and answer session. I am the administrative officer. I worked with OAG about 5 years before joining BEGA in 2012. I'm pretty much responsible for managing the administrative functions in the office. So anything non-legal or really doesn't have to do with lobbyists and FDS programs pretty much falls under my purview. I am the agency's HR advisor, so I work with DCHR in many of their departments to ensure agency compliance, and I am tasked with things like onboarding new employees, handling a variety of personnel actions. I'm the FMLA coordinator, the timekeeper, the e-performance liaison, and I also work with the DLP Summer Interns Program. I work with DSLBD to ensure that we are SBE compliant on an annual basis. I work with the Office of Risk Management as the E-Risk Manager to report any relevant accidents, injuries, workman's comp. I maintain pertinent information in their portal related to our drivers, employee drivers, as well as our vehicle. I am the agency's surplus property manager. So I basically make sure that we utilize any excess property opposed to going out and buying new property that we may need, if it's furniture or computers or anything like that. And I work with OCP on all things procurement. So I handle the P-card program, purchase orders, and contracts. I also work with OFRM in assisting with budgetary matters. And I guess lastly, since the pandemic, I'm the team manager for COVID. So as it relates to getting the office ready for the employees' return to work, social distancing, any prevention protocols, as well as sanitation protocols. So like I said, I handle an array of different functions and tasks within the office. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And if I cannot answer your question, I'll certainly get you to the right person in the office to assist you. So again, thanks a lot for joining us, and let me know if you have any questions.
Okay. Now we're going to open it up for any questions that you guys may have. You can feel free to use your audio, or you can always type your question within the chat box or the Q&A box.
If we don't have questions, I'm happy to also kind of just talk about what we're sort of focusing on this quarter as we begin this new fiscal year, and sort of maybe answer some general questions I think people often ask about BEGA, which are kind of how long does it usually take to look at investigations, that sort of thing. So I could do that if you like, Ashley, let me know.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So if you began the week with us, I talked about our strategic plan, which is focusing on accountability and transparency. So we're going to put more information out, including sending out more to ethics counselors so that they can share with district employees board decisions on dispositions, orders that I might issue with respect to ministerial matters, and just a regular update of our minutes. That stuff's available on our website, but people don't go to it often, so we want to start to provide that to you. We talked about as well providing more, call them job aids, but guidance on how to assess matters. On the advice front, as I mentioned and has come up here, people usually come to us. We're going to start coming to you at agencies or out into the district and find out what the main ethics issues are. Part of what you do in leading an ethics office for a government like the district, because we have actually a large number of employees overall given the size of the district, is that you have to go out and figure out where the risk points are. And so what we've been doing through our auditor, Emmanuel, along with different attorneys, looking at just different indicators to look to see where there's potential for higher conflicts, higher gifts issues, or Hatch Act issues. So we are doing that. And I mentioned that we'll also be working on sort of streamlining our policies and procedures and making those more available. So those are our short-term goals for this quarter. So you may be sick of hearing from us in the short term, but I think overall it'll be good to get into. We want you to know that we are here to assist you. So that's why we have this panel, to let you know that we're all approachable, and that if you call us, that you won't get in trouble even if we've made a mistake. The goal is to remediate and to educate and to fix, so that we can all go forward and be stronger together. So we put this panel on to put a face on ethics. People often read about BEGA and they think of us as some sort of behemoth or people who are sort of distant. Well, we are, just about 14 people who are in an office or not in an office. We miss each other desperately, if you can't tell. But we are out in the community, out in the field in terms of interviewing people, taking trainings on the road and talking to board members and volunteers throughout the district. And so we are continuing that work virtually, but our main goal is to continue to push out the message that not only that ethics is important, but ethics, that OGE is here to assist district employees, and that will assure district citizens that we are being ethical. That's the offer.
We do have one question. Can you expound upon what legislative assistance you give to agencies?
Well, if your agency needs supplemental regulations, and I know some do because of the nature of your work, you may have regulations that allow or don't allow your employees to engage in certain activities. So, for example, all district employees theoretically could engage in outside employment as long as it doesn't conflict with their ability to perform their work impartially and with integrity. But say your agency just doesn't want that to happen at all. You guys, we would help you in drafting that and getting that done. So, any other examples you all can think of?
Yeah, I was going to chime in and say I know that on at least 2 occasions, there are some agencies that a part of their enabling statute, they have, a code of ethics or something like that. And on at least 2 occasions since I've been at the agency, they've kind of tapped us to opine on when they're making amendments, or maybe they wanted to create some sort of code of conduct or some sort of ethics code. And they would tap us to kind of opine on what they have written and assist them and work with them on that. And we enjoy doing that. And agencies can have their own individual ethics rules as long as those rules don't conflict with our rules and kind of don't lower the legal threshold or the standard of conduct for the employees. So we enjoy collaborating on things like that.
Okay, any more questions? Okay. Nope, I don't see any more. So, any more comments from staff, Mikkel, or anyone from OOG?
I can provide some comments and some kind of context about what the office has been doing since the pandemic. We have been very busy, for 2 reasons. One, because with going virtual, our public bodies have needed guidance on that process, so we've been available to assist. We've also been attending meetings. And on the transparency front, as we all know, there's been a lot of activity with mass demonstrations concerning the activities of police departments across the country and with the Metropolitan Police Department here in particular. So what we have been advocating for is greater transparency in policing by having them provide body-worn camera footage to requesters with reduced fees or no fees. And also we are advising the Metropolitan Police Department to scale back on the redactions that they're doing because the redactions of their videos have produced a product that is really not usable for the requester who's sometimes a member of the press or sometimes a member of the public. And we'd also, moving to a different topic, during the public health emergency, FOIA processing is tolled. But, as I said in our FOIA training, I commend our FOIA officers. They have been responding to requests timely and still been responding when they can. Fortunately for the district, a lot of our information now is in electronic form, so the FOIA offices are not completely shut down. But again, we from a public standpoint, we have to keep our employees' health and safety is paramount. So if there's something that they have to do physically, respecting FOIA, we're not expecting them to do that. And I will say that our office is here for FOIA officers. The public health emergency is extended until December 31st of this year. But after that point, if it's not extended and you need to hold some FOIA requests, then those will have to be processed timely. So the office is available to assist with that. So I assume there are no more questions, but again, I'd like to thank all the participants and thank you, Ashley, for putting this week together. I hope it's been valuable for all the participants, and that we come away from this week being more ethical and transparent government, and providing greater service to the public. So thanks.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on what Michelle just said. I think being able to pull the whole Ethics Week off during the pandemic, I think it was great. I think it was a good team effort. Everything went smoothly, and I think we all should be pretty proud, especially us.
Thank you, Nicole. Right. I agree completely. All right. All right, everybody.
Yeah, so I don't see any more questions. Thank you all for attending. Thanks to the staff. I did not do this alone. Trust me, it was a team effort. Everybody participated. We're not done. We have one more session, 2 p.m. for you lawyers. Legal ethics presented by the DC Bar. That's at 2 to 3. And it is an accredited course, so you do get CS credits. Rochelle, you were about to say something?
No, that's fine. I'll see you all at 2 o'clock.
Okay, thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you all. Have a great day.